Good morning. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for joining us for Triangle Center for Spiritual Living's meditation this morning at Sophie's Bar and Grill live. We hope that you'll join us for our celebration service at 10:45. So at this time, I invite you to close your outer eyes. Just take a series of deep breaths just to arrive here in this moment now. To be right where you are is absolutely perfect. There's no other place to be other than right here and right now. I'm going to do a short reading by Mark Nepo from the Book of Awakenings, and then we'll have a silent meditation following. This reading is called It Is Enough. If you can't see what you're looking for, see what's there. One of the most difficult things for us to accept is that beneath all of our dreams and disappointments, we live and breathe in abundance. It's hard when in pain to believe that all we ever need is before us, around us, and within us. And yet, it's true. Like leafless trees waiting for morning, something as great and as constant as the earth holds us up and turns us ever so slowly toward the light. Our task is only to be rooted and patient. Never was this more painfully true for me than during the aftermath of the hurricane. I was in a holiday ground we walk. Time and again, we are asked to outlast what we want and think in order to see what's there. It's always there. So with eyes closed, know that though you may not see anything, you are great, and that something larger than you is carrying you forward. Feel this mystery. Feel to yourself, I am loved. I am being carried into life. So as we begin to bring our awareness back into our body, with the knowing, the gentle knowing that the creative juices of spirit are always flowing, always within, that spirit is on the scene no matter where we are, what we're doing, who we're with, that all the enoughness there is in the universe is right here, right now, within each and every one of us. The divine spark is our birthright, ever present, always available. Let's take this knowing into our everyday, into our morning as we wake up. The knowing that all that I need is right where I am, and create from that. Thank you.
all times, in its fullness and in its wholeness, and always ready, willing, and able to give us the kingdom of heaven on earth. We believe that we were created in its image and likeness, and because it is created, we too have that ability to create. In fact, we are always creating the experiences of our lives. And for me, that's the really good news, because if I don't happen to like very much or would prefer my experience to be something different, I am the one that can do something about it. Change your thinking, change your life. And so we come together on Sundays to support each other, to walk this path together, and to remind each other who we truly are at our very core when we are in the midst of being unable to remind ourselves. And so we are so very glad that you have chosen to join us this morning, whether you're sitting here. Speaking of thank yous, my gratitude goes out to our licensed spiritual practitioner, Michelle Love, for her beautiful meditation this morning. Thank you so very much for really deepening the container in which our service will unfold within. The awesome, I mean truly awesome, Right Reverend Andy Ross is in the house today. And so whenever that happens, we know we are in for a treat. So just hold onto your seats and your hats and be ready for that in just a little while. For now, we will begin with our opening congregational song. And for that, I'm getting the NO from the AV crew. All right, well, we have to be flexible and go with the flow. So rather than that, I am now going to introduce back up to our podium the beautiful Michelle Love.
Thank you, Reverend Dusty. Good morning, everyone. So today we have our theme for the month of August is a pause for guidance. That's PAUSE, pause for guidance. And as Dusty said, we have the energetic and joyful spirit of Reverend Ross here today to share his wisdom with us. And his talk title for today is Sparking, I almost said spanking, Sparking Imagination. Okay, yeah, we'll switch it up. So I am now going to read this community's purpose statement. This is our reason for being here. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God, the love intelligence that covers the universe. We are committed to not merely a theoretical understanding of our oneness and unity with God, but to consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through celebration, service, study, and fellowship, we are committed to the transformation of our personal lives into being a powerful and beneficial presence of the world. With the energy of unconditional love, we are so it is. And now I welcome you to close your outer eyes and turn within as we center ourselves into this moment now. Open your heart, then mind, and allow the healing sounds of the crystal bowls to wash over you.
you to begin to bring your attention back into your bodies and into the room. And when you're ready to wiggle your fingers and toes, and to gently open your eyes. As we do so, I'm kind of struck by the question, why is it in the English language do we say things like, oh, I almost said spanking, but then in the process of doing so, you're saying it anyway, sparking everyone's imagination to wonder why you went there. I almost said that. I just find it interesting. And we have way more important things right now. I digress. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living honors the diversity and threads of truth that run through all spiritual paths as represented by this ceremony. Please welcome Carol Cross and Madison Shug as they will be assisting us this morning with this ritual. Christianity is the path of Christ consciousness, love, and forgiveness. Buddhism is the path of compassion and understanding. Judaism is the ethical path of living by sacred law. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God, the highest calling. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Taoism is the natural way, the path of ultimate reality. Native American practice and shamanic traditions are the paths of primal spirituality. Shintoism is the path of tribal ancestry. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Science of mind and spirit is the path of the divine principle of love and law. And the heart. The heart represents the one heart, the one love that resides at the center of all people and all beings everywhere, with no exceptions. May peace prevail on earth through all of us. All of us. Thank you very much, Cary. So I now invite everyone to once again turn with me, allowing ourselves to put a pause on the moment and to turn our attention away from the world of form and inward to the center of our spiritual self. That is here with my attention that I am the power and presence of humanity that lives within me. I recognize that I am the very essence of love, joy, peace, freedom, and peace. I know that it truly is who and what the life that it within me and know that I am. And just as I know that this is my truth, I know that it is the truth of each and every person sitting here observing each and every person watching and loving each and every person that we're treating and greater each and every single one. We are all and it is from that place of unity that I bless our service together. I bless this idea that is already whole, perfect, and complete in the mind of God. I bless our community. I bless Desi and Sophie's. I bless the technology that allows us to continue to stream live. I bless all of the volunteers that have come this morning to really prepare the space and to connect everything that needs to be connected for the AV system to work properly. Ava and Heather, as they continue to make sure that we sound good and that we look good. I bless all the practitioners as they come forward to serve this community today in their own special way. I bless Miles and Letha as they come forward to share their gift of music and to inspire us with every note. I bless Reverend Andy Ross as he comes forward and he allows the words of the divine to flow through and out of his mind, truly setting aside his smaller self and allowing that wisdom to lead the way. And I bless each and every member and guest of our community, the Triangle Center for Spirituality, knowing that truly we do not walk alone, and that it is through the generosity and the acceptance and the unconditional love of each other that we truly grow. And so for all of the blessings of this day, I am grateful. We can put this together simply by saying, and so it is, and so it is in me. Today's reading is by a really wonderful poet, Rumi, and it is called In the End. In the end, the mountains of imagination were nothing but a house. And this grand life of mind was nothing but an excuse. You've been hearing my story so patiently for a lifetime. Now hear this. It was nothing but a fairy tale. And now please help me welcome to our stage Miles and Letha Costa.
Oh, good morning. It is so good to be here with you. We're going to start out with a little song called Standing Still. You're moving and shaking, fixing and breaking, even when I can't see. You're listening and healing, molding and free. Someone like me. I was running in circles, jumping the hurdles, not trusting your will. But I feel your love all around me now, but I'm standing still. You're breathing and filling, renewing and building my broken spirit. You talk to me, shout at me, speak right out loud to me, even when I don't hear it. I was so busy searching, painfully hurting for a dream I could not fill. But I see how you bring it to me now, that I'm standing still. I hear your voice again, my old familiar friend, telling me just where the struggle ends and where love begins, where real love begins. I was so busy searching, painfully me hurting for a dream I could not fill. But I see how you bring it to me now, but I'm standing still. You're moving and shaking, fixing and breaking, even when I can't see. You're listening and healing, molding and freeing someone like me. I was running in circles, jumping the hurdles, not trusting your will. But I feel your love all around me now, but I'm standing still. I feel your love all around me now, but I'm standing still. Oh yes, I feel your love all around me now, but I'm standing still.
I feel like the wisest thing to do would be to stand still for about 20 minutes. But I think Dusty might disappear and never invite me back. It's hard to be back here. I don't feel like I come enough, because when I come and I'm with you, after about 15 minutes, I feel kind of drunk on your love and your devotion and on your spirituality and on your music. So every time I get up here to speak, I'm always a little spiritually tipsy. So that's how we're going to begin today. Yes, actually, yes, I want to remind you that there are no mistakes. There are no accidents in life. There is only God, there's only you, and there's only action. There's only thought, there's only word, there's only deed. And once it's done, it exists, it becomes part of this universe. So for that reason, we're going to begin today by spanking our imagination. So what I'd like for you to do, we're gonna wake it up. We're gonna wake it up. We're gonna spank it and wake it up. So what I'd like for you to do is everyone here, everyone at home, I'm glad you're here at home. Please sit 6 feet from the screen, just in case. Are we not ready for COVID cookies? So everyone, I would like for you to close your eyes. If you're at home, if you're here, I'd like for you to close your eyes for a moment. I'm going to spank the imagination. We're going to go through an exercise to wake us up. Okay. What I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to imagine the most serene space possible. Imagine serenity. Be in that space. Sit there, stand there, walk there. But be in the most serene space you can imagine. What do you see? What's around you? Is it nature? Is it alive? What are the colors? Are there greens? Are there blues? Pinks? Maybe your serene space, your space of serenity has no color at all. Maybe it just is, but hold on to that. What does it look like? What do you see in your mind's eye? What's around you? What do you hear? Is it the sound of birds? Is it the sound of my voice that you can't seem to get rid of in your serene space? Is it the sound of music? Or is it just the sound of stillness? The sound of quiet? What do you hear in your serene space? Listen intently. Finally, what do you feel in your serene space? What do your hands touch? In your mind's eye, in your mind's hand, if you could reach down and touch the floor, the ground, the grass, the sand, the water, what does your serene space feel? What do you touch? What do your feet touch? Are you walking? Are you walking in shoes? Or are you barefoot? What does serenity feel like to you? What does it feel like in your body? What does it feel like to be serene? To be at peace? To be surrounded by nothing but what you create? Breathe. Space of serenity. I don't want to demand that you come back to this room, come back to where you are, but please, if you'd like to, come back to Sophie's Bar and Grill here at home. And as you do so, I want you to look around at this space, or your space at home. What do you see here? I see wood, lots and lots of wood. I see powerful women. I don't know if you can see this at home, but there are photographs of women through the ages, powerful, feminine voices. I see some plants in the distance. I see all of you. I hear reverb. I hear the sound of technology. I hear a chuckle. I hear my voice when I speak. I can touch this floor with my feet. I can touch this podium. I'm here. And the question is, for you and the question for you at home, the question of living and experiencing life is, which is more real? Which is more real? What you experienced in your mind, that place of serenity, or this bar and grill, this room you're in home? Which is more real? Now, you could go out and do a survey. You could ask millions of people, and you're going to get a lot of different answers. But I bet many would say that the room you're in is a bit more real. Because I can see it, I can touch it, I can feel it. It's here. It's real. It's reality. But what is real? How did you feel when you were in your serene space? Did you feel serene? Did it affect you? Did you experience it? Yes, I bet you did. And here in this space, I see it, I feel it, I experience it. As soon as I walked in, I felt the vibe that Desi has created here at this space. You see, all real is experience. It's the currency of life. Life is about experiencing. That's why you're here. That's why you have been incarnated in this existence to experience life. Therefore, experiencing what's in the mind and experiencing what's in a room is equally real. Because you, each and every one of you, and each and every one of you at home, live your life in two spheres of existence. You live your life in a mind, and you live your life in a world. And these two spheres of existence are in constant communication. Your mind right now is communicating with this reality. This reality right now is communicating with your mind. They're in a relationship. And did you know that what you think affects this out here? And did you know what's out here affects what you think? This relationship is ongoing, and it's a relationship you cannot escape. This is how you live your life. The state of your mind changes how you experience reality. And reality changes the state of mind. And I have an analogy that I would like to share with you today because I think it's so cool. I stumbled upon it this week and tripped over it. And I said, this is it. This is it. Cool way of explaining this relationship. So I want you to imagine you're in a room. You're sitting in a room. We're there? Yes. You are sitting in a room. And that room is filled with stuff. This room is your mind. And you exist within it. You exist in this room. Now, the shape of this room you exist within, the shape is built over the years by things like personality, ego. What is this room shaped like? What are the walls? They change slowly, but the shape of your mind is the shape of your personality, the texture of who you are. This room is also filled with furniture. Where do you sit in your mind? Where do you get comfortable in your thoughts? Where do you sleep? Where do you find rest and comfort? Your mind is filled with places to sit, places to rest. Where do you go to when you need to rest? There's also trinkets everywhere. Every time you experience something, you get a new trinket, you get a new bauble, and you put it over here. Ooh, yesterday I went to the beach. Ooh, my kids did this. Oh, my kids did this. I have this disgusting bauble in the corner. My daughter yelled at me yesterday. Every day you're filling this room with more and more stuff. You have boxes. I have a box in the corner of my room labeled fear of failure. And every time something happens to me that awakes, I was going to put the boat and weight together, awakes that fear, box gets a little full. And even though I am sitting in the middle of the room and I'm trying not to pay attention to the box, I can't help it because it's there. My room that I'm sitting in has clutter. So you exist in this room of your mind at all times. You can't walk out the room. You exist and it's filled with stuff. Yes, sometimes you get rid of stuff. Sometimes you have yard sales, garage sales. Sometimes you move some stuff out, especially when you stop needing it, when you stop paying attention to it. If I didn't need that fear of failure, damn it, I'd get rid of it. For some reason, it has stuck with me. Now, this room also has color. Color on the wall. This room also has air conditioning. Sometimes it's cold in this room. Sometimes it's hot. Those are called, pause for tonight, emotions. The room is constantly shifting. Emotional states. Sometimes the walls are black. Sometimes they're pink. Sometimes they're red. Gray. Sometimes it's hot in there. At the end of a long day, have you ever experienced the heat of the mind when you cannot squeeze one more thought into it? So this room you exist in, this room of the mind, is constantly shifting, constantly changing, full of stuff that makes up your mental life. And did you know? No, because I haven't told you yet. Did you know that this room has a window? And this window is called perception. Because you sit in this room of your mind on your comfy couch surrounded by your boxes, your trinkets and stuff, constantly looking out this window at outside world. And how much of this world do you see? Well, Dusty, It depends on how big your window is. Some of us sit in the room and have a very, very small window. We don't see much of the outside world at all. Some of us have a big window. Some of us have a big window, but we've drawn the curtains. I don't want any more of this. Some of us have dirty windows. Reminds me of a story. I heard it this week. I hope I'm going to tell it right. I'm going to try. Oh my gosh. Okay. A couple. Two men, we're going to call them Steve and Andrew. Steve and Andrew are sitting at their dining room table, and outside of their window, their neighbor has hung laundry out. And Andrew says, that laundry is so dirty. The next day, they sit down for breakfast again. Andrew and Steve have breakfast every day. Andrew looks out the window and says, that laundry, dirty. The third day, they come down for breakfast. Andrew looks outside and says, wow, the laundry is clean. Finally, our neighbors have cleaned their laundry. What happened? And Steve says, oh, I cleaned the windows. I stole that because I heard it this week. What you see out your window depends on your window. What you see out your window depends on how big your window is. What's the shape of your window? And outside that window, you're in this room of the mind, looking out this window of perception, and what's on the outside? The outside world, constantly shifting and changing. Here's the point. The room affects the outside. It can be a beautiful day. I don't know what you like. See, I always mix up the metaphor because I like cold, rainy days. So I can say, outside it's cold and rainy, and you probably like that. Let's just say sunny. Outside could be bright and sunny. And if your room is packed with boxes, dark and dismal, and your curtains are drawn, you're like, what a crap. Or outside could be dark. There could be a pandemic. There could be distrust in the nation. There could be death around the world. And if inside this room is nice, neat, tidy, and the windows are bright and open, and say, state of the room affects how you experience outside, and outside affects how you experience the state of the room. Because you exist in both, and they're in constant relationship. Constant relationship. If you close the blinds, does the outside world see? If you turn off the lights, are you still in the room? So today I wanted to offer you two practices. We're practical at home, we're practical. Two practices that are going to help you better this relationship. Because that's what it is. The mind and the world are in constant relationship, and like any relationship, you have to take care of it. How does the room say, yes, I love outside? How does outside say, yes, I love the room? How do we affect the relationship? Practice number one. We're going to call it, I know what it is, I just have to pause. Practice one is karma. Karma yoga is the yoga, or the discipline. Yoga is Sanskrit, means to yoke. It's the discipline of. Karma yoga is the discipline of action. It's the spiritual practice, you have to do it, of action. Here's what I want you to do. Like, metaphorically. Stand up in this room. Walk to the window and press your face against it. Forget the room, face the window, and see as much of the outside world as possible. Completely give yourself over to the task you are doing. And you might be thinking, I do this all the time. You don't do it all the time. I do it all the time. So several times a day, several times a week, as a practice, give yourself completely to what you're doing. My wife loves to garden. hot when she goes outside. And when she's outside, she gives herself to the act of dust, dirt, water, and sun. No thinking. Against the window, I am involved in this action. Through yoga, through walking, anything. Could be working, could be at work. You know what? 5 minutes at work, I'm not going to think. I'm going to involve myself in what I am doing. The phone's ringing, client's calling, show. I'm going to answer this phone, and I'm going to be completely involved in this conversation. I'm going to press my face at the ear, mess up the image, against the glass. I'm going to see and hear everything. It's practice. It's a practice of being involved. Your mantra is living. It's action. What can I do in life? And as you practice that, you got to keep doing it. Practice is like this. You do it for a while, and you become good at it, and your life changes, and you start doing it. At least that's how I think. Like, wow, actually every morning really works. When was the last time you did it? So do it every day. Take your time, face against the glass, see and be involved in the outside world. Be involved. Feel the dust. Feel the ground beneath your feet as you're walking. Hear the birds. Do something, but be involved in it. And as you do that, everything in the room begins to change. Because the room is going to match what you need in the world. Those boxes that are cluttering up the corner, if they don't work for your action in the world over time, they'll begin to disintegrate. Yes, disintegrate. They'll find themselves in problems. Only if you do it over time, only if you do it constantly. The mind shifts to change and better your life. Because the mind wants to help you live this life. So as you do this practice of karma yoga, the yoga of action, the mind shifts to accommodate. Practice one. Practice two. We're going to call it jnana. J-N-A-N-A. Jnana yoga. And that is the discipline of contemplation. So here's what I want you to do. Several times a day. You can do both these practices, or you can mess around and try the one and do the one that feels the best. We're all drawn to a practice. We're like, yeah, that's it. That's what connects me. That's what gets me centered. So this practice is all about shutting the blind and sitting paying attention. Karma yoga and jnana yoga both involve mindfulness. Jnana yoga, the yoga of contemplation, is just about sitting in the room. It's a little more complex, or complex is a good word. It's a little more complex if we don't do this. What is my room? It's just like in this room. It doesn't feel like it's kind of complex. These walls are wide. I love this. Outside world. So sit in this room. Close the blinds, close your eyes, and sit in your mind. Comfortable in here? What's the color of my emotional state right now? If I'm nervous, what color is nervous? If I'm angry, what color is anger? What does anger feel like? Pay attention to everything that's going on in your mind. As you do so, things will happen. You'll notice that box in the corner and you'll say, wow. It's so certain. It's not serving the outside world. Where do I sleep? Where do I sit? What rises in my mind? Just sit there. Pay attention to yourself. And as you do so, in a practice, changes the way you speak, it changes the way you talk, it changes the way you act. The room affects harmony, yoga action, yoga being involved. Jnana yoga, yoga contemplation, yoga sitting in your mind, knowing. Now I know I told you that it only give you 2 practices. But I want to sneak it through. I just feel like a little more we need to talk about. A little more. So the last practice I want to leave you with supplements the first, part of the first. It's a practice that only comes as a realization. We're going to call this bhakti, the yoga of love. This whole time I'm talking about you in a room. Yeah, you, is this kind of room? This furniture. Yeah, you're looking out the window. Yes, you're looking out the window at light. Yes, you're at Sophie or home. Yes, you're also in mine. But I never mentioned who you are. Are you the room? Are you your personality? No, that's the room. Are you your thoughts? No, you're not your trees and your bobbles. You're not your couch. No, you're not the window of perception. You're looking out the window of perception. You're definitely not the outside world. You're looking out the window of perception out here, at you. So who are you? It's a question that has no answer. No answer. I can tell you what I think you are. I think you are being. I think you are consciousness. I think you are goddess and goddess. I think you are the one who wants to sit here. I think you are the one who created the room to sit in because you thought how amazing it would be to sit there. So you created it. You created it. Just look out the window. You don't want it. You don't want the pain. You don't want the sadness. You don't want who are you? Once you get a glimpse, you have stumbled upon bhakti, devotion, love. Because the you that's looking out that window loves. It's bhakti, yoga, devotion is just about realizing that just being let's go to the spirit. So when you're sitting in this room, examining your life, allow it. You're looking out that window at the world. Allow yourself. To be still, mind. Be still. I'm just so so grateful to be surrounded by stuff not stuff. So grateful to have a great perception. So grateful to have so grateful for community and grateful for sharing ideas, grateful for enthusiasm, grateful for the spectrum. Thankful for something. Thankful for spaces that we gather, even technical spaces. Spaces of art. Most of all, I love that helps me to accept life as it is, that love not the skill, that love act with it. For all these things for your day, for your spiritual practice, for your practice in life, this fairy tale, Jesus, for all these things. Gratitude is awakening my heart, is awakening us.
Very much. It's now time for conscious giving. It's now time to take the time generously back to this community to share some of our abundance that we all have in spades that is so full in our lives. Whether we're talking about money or health, kindness, or goodness, or family, we have so much. And it is in taking the time to put our attention on things, we actually create more. That we actually into the flow of life as giving and receiving. So what I know about these gifts, however big or small, is that they allow this community to continue to do the good thing. It allows us to continue to be a beacon of light and love. It also allows everyone giving to really add to the energy of sufficiency and as we know, giving that we receive and that we give into the so please repeat our giving affirmation of I give with gratitude, knowing God is my source. So yes. And as the baskets are going around, let's please welcome Miles and Aretha onto the stage.
I used to walk down every road, holding out a golden key, and I searched the heart of everyone. I was hoping one was right for me. I was searching for a treasure, fill me deep inside. I was searching for life and walk right by my side. One day I grew so weary, could not take another step, and I sat up on the roadside, hung my head and wept. And then suddenly I heard a voice come from deep within. And as I listened to the sound, I found I was lifted by the wind. They said you always had a treasure living deep inside your soul, and you've always had a lifetime friend. Well, now it's time you know that the love was only waiting for your signal to begin. And the golden key you were holding now, you were always holding it. I used to walk down. 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 Every road, every road, every.
Thank you very much, Miles and Lita. Awesome song. Friend, Cary, always had. So, this is lesson involved faith. If anyone TCSL.org, and on the home page there's a button up in the upper right hand corner. You just click on the new screen will pop up, and there's a little form that you fill out with what you would like prayer about, and that form gets sent to me, and I send it over to Slack so that all of the practitioners and the other ministers will also be praying on it. So just rally the troops. Don't be standing out there all by yourself. You want some prayer, just reach out for some prayer, and we'll get everything started. If anyone would like to dedicate a flower dedication to anyone for any reason, please contact Heather Abbott at info@trianglecsl.org, or you can write directly to me at dustyripplemeyer@yahoo.com. Either way, please let us know when you would like to do that, and give us the text, the narrative that you would like us to speak for you. Someone will call me. In the comfort of your own home or here at Sophie's, I invite you to please stand for our August affirmation. This, as always, is a call and response, and please say it with me. So repeat after me. Today, I choose to take time to have a spiritual tune-up. Today, I choose to take time to have a spiritual tune-up. In doing so, I am realigned with spiritual truth. So I am realigned with spiritual truth. Today, I choose to take time to play with and as spirit. Today, I choose to take time to play with and as spirit. Evoking curiosity, my imagination grows my consciousness and expands my life. Evoking curiosity, my imagination grows my consciousness and expands my life. Through that expansion, I become acutely aware of my hunger for guidance. Through that expansion, I become acutely aware of my hunger for guidance. I pause to reverently listen for and to the still small voice within me. I pause to reverently listen for and to the still small voice within me. I hear it expressing its love through me. I hear it expressing its love through me. Today, I choose to gift myself time to be aware, aligned, and renewed. Today, I choose to gift myself time to be aware, aligned, and renewed. Through that gift, I rise and reemerge fully nourished, restored, and renewed. Through that gift, I rise and reemerge fully nourished, restored, and renewed. And so it is. So I just invite everyone, you may sit if you would like to, or remain standing, to just turn within for one last moment of gratitude. One last moment of appreciation for the time that we have spent together, for this time in prayer, for this time surrounded by beautiful music, for this time immersed in devotion of that divinity that is within us and surrounding us. Grateful for the time that we have had together, recognizing the divine in each other and feeling the love that we share. I'm so grateful for our time together and for my awareness that we leave here today a little bit more sparked, fully aware of the imagination within us and our ability to tap into that, to really clean the windows of our room and to recognize just how important our mindfulness is and what we experience within the room and so it is. Thank you all so very much out there in the world for inviting us into your homes this morning, and thank you all so very much for being here. I so appreciate you, and I'm so grateful.